Oh,
We're no longer posing for a
we're
picture
no longer posing for the picture.
because I'll have to show y'all what the last one looks like of me. It's never crazy of Jason. It's always, it picks me and
It always gives you it always catches me laughing.
well, it's not, well, that's because you laugh a lot.
It's like this.
But mine is always, I'm always sideways. And
Oh, goodness.
did you put it on Instagram?
Yeah,
Okay.
we're
Well, you
rolling.
did that without me knowing.
I did.
Getting better at this.
Damn.
How are y'all? January the 16th, and it is 4 p.m. Central Time
That's right.
in Alabama. Central Alabama.
Hope you guys are staying warm.
Yeah,
Woo, woo.
I think everybody's got a little bit of chill to them.
I do, unless you live in Miami.
Well,
They showed to be in the 90s.
but I think it's coming to them tomorrow.
Oh, is it?
Maybe not Miami, but Orlando area.
Mm.
I think it is.
Mm.
Because I think Miss Sue said she was not prepared for the 40s that they had expected.
Mm.
Am I right?
Probably right.
I think so.
Well, hello. On this, the sun's coming out though. Look at there.
Yeah, the sun was out earlier, but that didn't make it.
No, but it went away.
What?
The sun.
Oh, well, I couldn't tell you because I took a snooze.
That's your body telling you.
I did a naughty thing.
Your body was telling you.
I don't ever do that.
Yeah.
But I just kept telling Jason I was so sleepy. I couldn't hardly keep my head up. I was tired.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really know if I was tired or sleepy, but nonetheless, I took a nap.
Mm.
And I feel rested.
It is
It's one of those days.
It's one of those days. It really is one of those days. Now, we did get snow. We saw it. Y'all, if you watch tomorrow's video, you'll see the snow in there. But our main thing was ice, and the ground's still icy.
Well, as I came up the stairs, I looked at the outside temperature to find that it has went from 26 to 24 in the last 15 minutes or so.
The highest I've seen it so far has been 28, so we haven't got above freezing yet.
But that's going to be bad for the roads again this evening.
Mm-hmm.
Saw a lot of businesses locally were shutting down at 3 o'clock to try to get people off the roads because they were okay earlier. But when it's, not that it's gotten above freezing, but the sun and the roads just help to thaw it out.
I know it has not been very much traffic on the road today.
It hadn't, but the ones that I did see were boogieing along.
Yeah, we're moving on.
I thought to myself, well, that's why I'm not out today.
Oh, goodness.
I did need to go to town today, but I didn't have to, so I didn't.
Well, I will say all the animals are fine.
All the animals are fine.
Everybody's good. And you know what? They act like, honestly, it's nothing, no big deal.
I can tell the goats are a little bit cold.
But I mean, they're not. I mean, they're laying around chewing cud.
Yeah.
They're not like jumping around and as active as they normally are. But they're not. I was surprised. I'll be honest with you.
Well, Topper went right out and jumped on the picnic table that was covered in ice, and I was sitting there like this. Oh no, thinking he's fixing to go skedaddling off of that thing.
Right.
But he must have some gription in those hooves.
Hey, they must have.
Because he jumped on the first part and it was covered in ice, and then he went on up.
Well, those mountain goats, they climb on them icy mountains. So,
well, these are Nigerian dwarf.
I know.
Backyard goats.
And I'm warm. I got so many layers of clothes on. I had to roll my sleeves up.
I have my thermals that this nice lady sent me a year or two ago.
Yeah.
They're my go-to. I don't know, like cuddly duds. Is that what they're called?
Girl, don't get me lying. I don't know.
But anyway, this is the warmest sweatshirt I have, so I've been wearing it all day. And every now and then I see a light go by. See it? It must be a shadow.
It's cars going by, and it's reflecting.
Y'all think I've lost it, don't you?
I saw it earlier, but that's what it is because the sun's directly hitting them.
No, I saw it again just then.
Did you? I don't know.
Maybe it's your hand and that light. Yep, I saw it.
Oh, we never had that. I thought it was something coming out of the window. Anyways, because we're on the second second floor, the loft or whatever this thing's called up here, and that upper window's
I
right
just saw it again.
even with it. So
let me tell y'all what I saw last night that I have never, ever, ever seen before. And I sent it to Jason. A 2-story camper.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all, it beat anything I've ever seen. It had a loft
camper
in it. When you said loft, that made me think of it.
Oh, okay.
I said to myself, I said, okay, this thing can't be moved. It's got to be something that you put on a truck and take to a location. And no, you could tow it just like a regular camper.
Really?
Yes.
It did look like a regular camper.
The price was not that bad.
Well,
not compared to when we were looking at new ones.
What's funny is you sent that to me, and I guess that goes that everything's listening to you.
Yeah.
So you sent that to me, and today or this morning or sometime, a YouTube video popped up, and on my homepage, and it was I bought a house off Amazon.
Well, now I've seen those.
A tiny house.
Yeah, I've seen the tiny houses being sold on Amazon. It
folds out.
But this was different. This
was a legit. It had a bathroom in it. It had rooms in it. It was a legit front door. I mean, with flooring and everything. And they delivered it.
Well,
Amazon delivered it. And it was in a big box. Amazon box.
Big box. I bet it wasn't a big box. It say do not open with scissors.
And y'all, listen, it folded. It was like this. And they thought at first that was the house. But then they realized that the walls, the floor did like this. And then the top did like this.
Do you fold it up when you're not living in it?
I guess so. And when they finished folding, and I don't know how long it took them, but it was just the walls just popped out. It literally is a legit tiny house. I mean, it's a house. It's bigger than your mom's tiny house was.
Well, this camper that I sent to you would have been so perfect for us when we were living in a camper.
Yeah.
Now look, I'm not buying a camper ever, never, unless I fix up our Airstream. It's just something that was shown in my face, and I thought it was cool because I'd never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
The inside of it, y'all, it had a railing that looked like ours up on the loft. I mean, it was like slept, I don't know, 8 people comfortably.
I'm still shocked that you could buy a tiny house. I saw Miss Brenda come up and say that her son bought one. It sounds just like the one I'm describing, but it literally, he bought it off Amazon, and I went and looked, and they're about the price of a used camper.
Huh. Well,
I mean, it was expensive. Don't get me wrong.
You know, when we were looking for Mama's tiny house, there were just no options.
Yeah. And
we looked at some mobile homes that were smaller, but the price of them was over $100,000.
Oh yeah. This was like the two I saw. One was 25 and one was 35.
Oh, that's reasonable compared to what we were looking at.
Yeah. It was a tiny. Somebody wanted to know what the bathroom was like in it. Well, the bathroom was small. It was small, and I've seen this before. So this must be a new trend in these tiny houses and some of these campers now, as they put the toilet in the shower.
Huh.
So it kind of serves two things there. I guess if you was in a rush, if you was in a hurry, you could kill 2 birds with one stone.
I don't want to hear anymore. I did hear about shipping container prices, and I've noticed when I order something here lately, it's taken a lot longer.
Yeah.
Especially if it comes from Amazon. Catherine and I were talking about this morning. She ordered a part for a sewing machine, and it took like 8 days, which normally you could get something prime in 3 days. Yeah. But it's not like that now. It's taking longer. Well, I saw, this has nothing to do with timing, but the price for a shipping container, a full shipping container from China, was, this was like 3 or 4 months ago, $1,500 for a shipping container. Today, it's like $4,500.
That's crazy.
How do you go up that much?
Don't ask me.
I mean, that tells me that the cost of Chinese goods are going up.
I'm sure there's something to do with the chain and you know what? Me and you both really don't watch the news and keep up with everything. So
all I know is what comes in front of me, and it hears us talking, and it thinks I need to know.
Yeah. So yeah, we are not worldly people.
No, we're not.
We couldn't carry on the conversation about current events with anyone.
We could just sit there.
Unless it was Alabama football. Now I could talk.
You'd have to steer me through that one because
I could talk to somebody about Alabama football.
All I know is what I hear in the background when you're passing through.
I got you.
But I got to tell y'all something.
What's that?
Okay, so did y'all see my video about testing the water? We found out that we did not have bacteria in our well water.
Mm-hmm.
And so our first thing was we wanted to drink it and we wanted to see how it tasted because I can tell the difference in different waters. I can tell. I don't like our tap water. I mean, some of it I do. Anyway, I think our well may have healing properties.
Well, before you start getting into the fountain of youth, I want to tell y'all that video is real. Brooke had no idea, zero idea of which water was which.
What, did somebody say it wasn't real?
No, I don't read. I read the comments for like the first hour, and I try to answer a lot of them in that little window there. And then we got to go.
Yeah.
It's peaches of fires.
Yeah.
Quick. So, anyways, you started tasting in the first round. You were unsure, and you said the wrong ones.
I did.
And then you're like, no, and then you nailed it.
Yeah.
You got 3 out of 3 water.
But the comments that I read, there are a lot of people out there that can tell the difference.
It blows my mind because I think I have a pretty nice palate. I do.
Well, you really don't.
Wordsmiths, their tongue is crucial. And so I think I got a good palate.
But you have to admit you don't have a good sniffer.
No, I don't. I can't smell a snake.
I can smell.
I can't smell a snake.
I can smell things that Jason and Mary Carl cannot smell.
That's right.
And maybe that has something to do with the reason I can taste the water. So here's the deal.
All right, tell them about the water.
Here's the water. Here's my precious water.
So we are officially eliminating the plastic bottles.
The plastic bottles.
Because you got a water that you can drink now.
I got a water that I can drink. And not only do I have a water I can drink.
This is pretty big news here. And it could be coincidence, but go ahead.
It could be.
Could be coincidence.
So the day of the water testing, I was feeling pretty naughty. I was feeling bad. I was aching all over. I just felt terrible. Catherine brought me some freeze-dried candy that day, and she left it up at the farm stand because we were doing things.
Mm-hmm.
So I went and I got Catherine's candy, and lo and behold, it was some candies I had never tried before, freeze-dried. Mm-hmm. She called them something latte. Anyway, it had M&Ms and the little the coffee candy.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, I'm getting this all wrong.
She gave us some candy.
So I bring the candy inside, and we start doing the water testing.
Yep.
Okay, so I ate the candy, which was all new.
Mm-hmm.
I'd never eaten Catherine's candy before that was freeze-dried.
Mm-hmm.
And I never drank our well water.
Right.
What day was that? Wednesday. That video was recorded Wednesday. I woke up Thursday morning and I felt like $1 million.
Yep.
Now, I don't know if that's coincidence.
Mm-hmm.
I started trying to figure out what in the world did I do different.
Right.
So my mind goes back. And so I'm messaging Catherine and I'm telling her, synchronized at the same time, we say, it's the candy. It's the candy. So she's thinking she's got to give me a lifetime supply of candy. And I said, but look, here's the other thing that I did different.
I didn't know y'all thought it was the candy.
We both thought it was the candy. And she was like, gee, I'm going to have to start telling you. We were thinking the same thing.
Goodness.
So then I told her about well
I can
water.
see you coming out saying, this candy makes me feel better. And next thing you know, the candies are going to start flying off the shelf.
Well, that was our thinking,
If people are going to start getting real big because they're eating candy all the time. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, you don't have to worry about that because it could be something else.
That's right.
It could be the well water. And so
Could be the well water.
I started Googling. I was like, what in the world? Seriously. I mean, this was last Thursday.
Yeah.
When I started feeling better. Today is Tuesday.
That's right.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Okay, I told y'all I was tired today. I'm tired.
But you don't feel bad.
But I don't feel that feeling that I was so down over.
Mm-hmm.
I have a little ache in my back, but I can't.
Wasn't me this time.
I just say that's getting older. You know, that's just my normal aches and pains from. That's what I was feeling when we were pulling the fence.
Yes.
It's this back pain.
Yes.
But this is not a sick feeling that I can't do anything.
You feel great. 6 days. This is probably the longest span.
This is the longest span.
And the only thing you've done different is the water.
It's the water.
And we think it's because we know it's got minerals and that kind of thing in it, and it's not being filtered out.
So I started reading about different deficiencies and such, and obviously I got my paperwork out for when the water company was here testing it, and it's our water is acidic. So I started figuring out, acidic is not going to hurt you, but it will hurt your fixtures in your house over long periods of time. So it says magnesium, phosphorus, calcium. It does have some sulfur in our water as well.
But it was very slight.
But sulfur's not going to make you sick. It's just a rotten egg smell.
Gotcha.
So it contains those things. So Catherine is a retired nurse. And she starts thinking, she's like, maybe your body got so dehydrated when you were back pulling that fence during the hot summer months that you depleted your body of some of those needed minerals and you're replacing them.
With the water.
I take a
well water.
Good quality multivitamin every day.
That's right.
So,
but who knows? I take a multivitamin too. But there's sometimes I think that, they can make that up.
Yeah. So I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna tell y'all one thing. I'm not giving out of my well water.
Yes.
We were down there yesterday afternoon getting our pitcher filled. Because we knew today was going to be really, really frigid.
Yep.
And I have ordered me a 2-gallon glass container to sit up on my countertop. And that's what I'm going to drink my water from. Now, some of you want to know, well, why don't you, if it makes you feel good, why don't you have it ran to the house? Well, that's our plan, but it's not hard to gather it to drink.
No, it's easy.
Because if we were to run it to the house, then it has to be filtered because it'll take a wear and tear on our faucets.
And we're thinking that we don't want it filtered.
No, I don't want all of those minerals taken out.
Right.
If this is the healing properties, I need to sell it by the 55-gallon drum out there. Well, I'll give it to y'all if it makes you feel better. I'll give it to anybody.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's just coincidence or whatever, but I'm so glad it happened. I know it's not a made up thing that just you can't make up being sick.
Yes.
Right. I'd literally feel better. And when I woke up that morning, I had to go to the bathroom and it was not time to get up yet. It was, a little bit too early. I was going to go back and lay down. And usually when I get out of the bed, I am just like, I hurt from head to toe. But that Thursday morning, when I first woke up feeling better, I did not have that. I did not have that pain.
That's great.
I don't know.
That's great.
Maybe it was just time for it to go away.
Well, you know what would have been bad?
What?
Is that if we would have done the polar plunge the same time that you drank the well water.
Yeah.
Then we would have think that it was the polar plunge the entire time. I thought I come this close. I take that back. The thought came in my head today. I didn't come this close to jumping in that pond, but the thought did cross my mind today. It did.
Y'all, last night, so Nick sends us a group text, and Nick from Chestnut Hills, and asked us, when is this polar plunge taking place? Yesterday or today?
Mm-hmm.
And Jason just sent back laughing faces. And then he told me, he said, you know what? That might not be a bad idea.
It might not.
It might not be a bad idea. I might do that tomorrow. And so I didn't say anything because I'm thinking to myself, I ain't doing it. You do what you want to do because I ain't doing it. I'm feeling good and I ain't messing it up. And this morning he had changed his tune. There was no mention of the polar plunge.
He didn't bring it up this morning?
No, you.
Oh, me. Oh, yeah, no, I didn't bring it up. It crossed my mind. I was down there by the pond. Y'all, I had to walk like a 2-year-old learning how to walk today, because y'all, the ground is frozen.
Yeah.
And I mean frozen. Y'all seeing the video tomorrow. It is
ice.
Slick. So I'm, I look like somebody that's had, 12 beers out there trying to walk because I was scared I was going to fall. Funny thing is, Michael Keith sent me a text of his deck, and he said, one, his deck was frozen solid still. It was just completely white, and that was probably an hour ago. He said, number two, this is the first time, or this is the second time since he's been working over there at Budweiser that they've closed it down.
Really?
Yeah.
Because the roads were not safe.
That's what he said. The roads are not safe. But I told him, I said, don't walk on that deck now. I said, we ain't young bucks anymore. We slip and fall now. It might take us out.
Well, Catherine's got stairs that go out of her front door.
Yeah.
And she said that she went down on her behind and scooted down the stairs because she didn't want to take a chance of slipping.
That's smart.
Well, so this morning, Jason beats me outside.
I was up early this morning.
He was up early. But when it came time to actually feed, and he went outside to make sure everything was okay.
I did. That was first thing. I was worried. That's why I woke.
That was right at daylight.
I woke up at 4:25.
So when I got up and going, I wanted to help him feed. So I got dressed, and he was, going from the pigs and whatnot. So I decided I'd go on to the barn, make sure the cats and everybody was okay. He had already been there, but to take care of them. So here I am going across the rocks on the driveway, and they're solid. They're solid ice. There was no grip for the rock, but it wasn't like I was going to slide down.
Right.
Until I got to the barn doors.
You make it?
I didn't make it. My feet went out from under me, and I landed flat on my backside. And I didn't say anything because I knew you were taking care of Moody and Mo by that time.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, I am very lucky I didn't break my tailbone because, my feet went straight out from under me. And Dee Dee was with me. And Dee Dee didn't say a word. She just kept on trucking. She knew better. She was frisky as she could be this morning. Her little legs were just like this. So we figured out we couldn't go through the front barn doors because they were frozen solid.
Yeah, the gates were rough this morning.
I could not pull them. So I said, what am I going to do? And then my wheels started turning. I said, I got a side door. And around where that cover was, it wasn't frozen.
On Nuggets Gate, I went into the barn and had to get, because they had that Wiener clip, and I couldn't open it. I went and got some warm water and poured on it this morning.
Well,
it was rough.
I couldn't get into the gate where Scott and the peacocks and the turkeys and the pigeon, I couldn't get in that gate. I just had to beat it with my hand until it finally just broke loose. And it did just that. It broke loose.
Good. And everybody, the peacocks.
Everybody's fine.
I don't even call them pea chicks anymore.
They're not chicks.
They're full-grown peacocks.
It's a whole army of them, too.
It is. Peafowl.
It's a whole army of them. But what tickles me is Scott does not travel with that crew. I don't know if he just thinks he's better than them.
I think he's just the
leader,
the man of the peacock crew or the peafowl. I don't want the peafowl police to come after me.
No, please don't. Those cow police, they mean business. So if you get into the peacock police, there's no telling what could happen.
They'll come after you. They will come after you. But I think that's what they do in nature. I think he's, got his own little territory right there, does whatever he wants to do. He don't leave his spot.
No.
But the girls and the youngins,
yeah, they travel.
They travel. They wander. They go off this way and off that way. Now Scott.
He stays in his
Scott's
area.
like, there's no reason for me to walk around this place.
But he did have ice on his tail feathers.
He did have ice on his tail feathers.
And I thought to myself, boy, why wouldn't you under the cover? You know?
Oh, me.
I don't know. And Goldie had some ice on her tail feathers.
She did. She had some ice on her tail feathers.
Not too. Nugget. We thought this morning that we would put Nugget in a stall. You know, it would be a good thing because they've been going under the lean-to thing. And he wasn't going to stay in there.
No.
He wasn't going to stay in there. He knocked his water over and
he said, the sun's up. I got to get out.
I got to go.
I got to go.
When I opened that door, he was like, yep. I mean, he was gone.
Got to go.
And he was slipping in the ice.
I saw Goldie slip.
I thought, Nugget, you better slow it down because I don't know where we're going to take you to the vet today for a broke down leg.
Goldie scared me too. She started slipping. Actually, she slipped down and then popped right back up again.
It scared me when I saw it.
It looked a lot like Bambi.
Yeah, that's how Nugget looked.
Yep.
And I think that must have been Nugget's first time, like out on the ice. You know, he was spending a lot of time under the lean-to thing, and then he was spending time on the inside.
Right.
But it was like when he got outside, he didn't realize that it was even ice.
Oh, Nugget. Oh, Nugget.
So what you got?
Oh, I've been seeing a lot of comments or questions about the honey, and their honey has crystallized and they didn't know what they should do. And I don't think a lot of people know this, but I was going to mention it, is that pure, raw, 100% honey crystallizes.
Yes, that's its nature. I mean, it's gonna crystallize.
It is because honey is nothing but sugar and water, and the bees do whatever they do to it. But that's basically it.
Not man-made sugar.
No,
bee-made sugar.
That's right. And so what happens is the bees, that's why honey doesn't spoil, is because they get rid of most of the water. So I forget what percentage it is, but there's more sugar than there is water. And so it will start to crystallize. And there's some scientific reason, and I'm not going to get into it, but it will crystallize. And it is perfectly normal. It is, and that lets you know
that it's pure and it's raw.
Yes, that means you have 100% honey. And if you get honey from your local beekeeper or wherever, it should crystallize. Now, some of it will crystallize faster than others, and that's because of the filtration process. And if it's been if it has been processed, period.
Or the temperature is stored at.
Or the temperature is stored at. Yeah, that's another thing. But our honey probably contains, I know it does, is some trace of pollen and some beeswax and all that. So it will crystallize faster than honey. And then, you know, you get honey from the grocery store, and a lot of that honey is not 100% honey. So you have to be kind of...
Well, it won't say pure or raw either.
It probably won't say pure or raw. You're right. So it's been cut with something, and it could be corn syrup or something like that. And that also allows it not to crystallize.
Yeah, so, and you don't want honey's not doing you much benefit if it's not pure and raw.
Correct.
So what do you do about it, Jason?
Well, we got it on our website. Where's that?
www.coghillfarm.com.
If you go to the honey section over there, at the very bottom, it has some facts and some like a Q&A part down there that we thought of before we put it on there, because we knew people's honey was going to crystallize and some people wouldn't know it. But a lot of people microwave it, but I don't know if this is a microwave safe bottle or not, but a lot of people microwave it. But you can put it in warm water.
Yeah, if you just want to heat you up some water, and then take that bottle and set it in the pan of warm water, you can literally see it coming uncrystallized before your eyes. And it may have to be done again, but just know that that's just part of being honey. It's
100% honey.
It's,
so you want your honey to crystallize.
You want it to crystallize. If your honey doesn't crystallize, then you don't want it.
That's right. So I just wanted to put that out there because we were getting a lot of questions out there, and I just wanted to make sure you guys that did not know that it is perfectly normal and you want it to do that.
You do.
Yes.
You want it to do that. And while you may, go to squirt it out and it not squirt out don't fret. It only takes a second to get it back to its usable state.
I walked over there and looked at the bees, but they're not moving. So the bees really don't get active until it's
50 and above.
They'll move around at 40, but they're right now they're all in a ball like this,
trying to keeping
each other warm. So now the nectar ninjas were here this week.
Yeah.
I can't remember what day it was.
Oh, I know what day it was because it was the day I felt so bad. Wednesday.
And
it rained.
It did rain, and they came and checked on the bees, and everything was fine.
Yeah. Wasn't it Wednesday?
I think that's right.
Well, Thursday was the healing day.
Tuesday or Wednesday.
Thursday, I was back to normal.
Mm-hmm.
I say normal.
Normal.
I started thinking that when we went to Florida in October to the Black Barn Blossoms event, I was riding a bicycle.
You were?
I was riding a bicycle.
You sure were.
So whatever this is happened between November, end of October. So November, December, January, 3 months.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is a conversation we would have between the two of us, not on the air. So we got we had to put the Victorian crown pigeons up last night.
We did.
We had to put them in their little room with their heater, and we were hopeful that what would happen after repetition, that they would just walk up their ramp and go into their room.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't happen like that.
It didn't happen like that.
They're never going to be birds that will sit in your lap and let you pet on them.
Correct.
Nor will they ever be ones that you can do Mary Carl does with her other birds and them land on you.
Right.
That's not going to happen.
Yep.
Not to say that they aren't trainable, but that's not something they're interested in doing.
Mm-hmm.
So my weather app threw me for a loop last night. At 5 o'clock-ish, Jason's covering up his garden, and I'm looking at the weather app because he says, it's going to freeze. Tonight's going to be the worst night, right? I said, yeah, I think so. I look at the weather app, and it says 30.
And mine said 18.
30.
Yeah, we have two different apps.
I said, no. I said, tonight's only going to be 30. And he said, so we don't need to put the Victorian crown pigeons up. No. Go back inside, fixing dinner, pitch black dark by this time. I look at Jason's weather app to find
18.
Guess what? We got to put the pigeons up. So not a big deal, except for I had planned on putting the sliding barn door up. So the door itself was at the barn.
Right.
Required some tools to get it screwed up. Had to get the heater put in there and all that good stuff. But we got it done. And we got it done just in the nick of time because it started raining. Or sleeting or something. Right after that.
Mm-hmm.
We got them put up. And so this morning, I went to go get some more shavings for the stalls because Peaches has utilized them all.
Mm-hmm.
I drive the tractor down to the old barn, and I needed to get a water that could stay in that room all the time because they're going to have to stay in there all day today. Temperature's 28 for the high?
28 for the high today.
They need to come out and go back up.
Right.
So I found a water that was big enough for them because they're big birds and they have a hard time getting their beak down in something normal. Get the water. I find a pan that they can leave in there and eat. Well, Mary Carl had already done the chores that she does to take care of her pigeons. Mm-hmm. However, she did not know where a water was. So I did that part.
Right.
So I bring it in the house. Jason cleaned it out for me.
I did.
And I take it upon myself to go and fill up the water and the food for the Victorian crown pigeons.
Who are in the coop still.
In their room. In the room,
coop.
Not in the aviary loose.
Yeah, they're in the room still.
So I go through the little, I never do know the term for that.
Yep.
The little safe room.
The little safe room.
The little safe room that's not so safe. I've got a water that's filled up because I had to fill it up inside the house. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the water outside's frozen. I fill their feeder up. I go up the stairs. I open the door, and I'm just thinking, that I'm going into a chicken coop, I reckon.
Yeah. Well, it was cold, so I mean, your brain was probably, it was.
Oh, y'all.
Your brain was thinking it needed to be in a hot tub.
I don't like hot tubs. I had water in this hand, and it was a 2-gallon water, and the food in this hand, and I opened the door with my body, and when I did that, out they come out the door into the safe room, right?
The double door safe room area.
Except
and we did that for this reason right here. If they fly out, they're flying out into
the safe room.
Into a safe room, and we can still get them, and it's perfectly fine.
But guess what Brooke didn't do? Brooke didn't lock the safe room door.
Nope.
So when they flew out, they flew into the safe room door. And y'all, guess what happened? Victoria Crown Pigeon male gone.
Out the door.
Out the door.
And they can fly.
I'm shaking just like this. I've got a glove on this hand. I get my glove off. My fingers were wet, so I couldn't even put my password in my phone.
Yep.
And forget about that. So I knew it was only one of them that had escaped, but I didn't know which one. And I didn't care which one. I just knew we had to get it back. So it felt like 5 minutes for me to unlock my phone. And I was going to call Jason, but instead of calling, I just said, come now.
Yeah. I knew something was wrong.
Send him a text.
Come now. I knew
something
was wrong.
So I get the door shut and locked behind me. Lo and behold, I made sure I locked it.
So the female didn't get out.
Well, I didn't know which one it was.
Just the one escaped.
The one escaped.
And was outside.
Outside in the big wide world.
In the big wide world.
So I'm like, okay. So I go outside before Jason comes. I see him coming out the door, and he's putting his jacket on. And I said, hurry.
I was running too.
Hurry. I didn't even want him to put his jacket on.
Mm-hmm.
So he comes, and by that time, I figured out it was the male, which is a good thing because he's not as flighty as the female.
Right.
So he's at the corner of Gus and Loretta's old pen, and he was trying to get through how like a duck or goose or chicken, if you're trying to chase them, then they're going to try to get through the fence, and they realize they can't. So Jason throws.
Well, I take my jacket off because we didn't have a net and didn't have time to go hunt the net. And so I'm thinking my best option is to take this jacket off and just throw it on him. And then I'm going to catch him this way. But as soon as we got close to him, he flies. And so I throw my jacket up. And y'all, I was this close from netting him.
Y'all, it was like.
And he hit the jacket and then kept on. And there he went.
He went flying over the top of the jacket.
And I was like, oh no. So he flies towards the pond. I thought he flew into the pond pasture, not in the pond itself, but into the pasture where the pond is. And I thought that was not going to be good because that's a big,
wide open spot,
big open area. So he didn't. He landed before he went into the pasture. So he was on this side of the fence, and he was pacing that fence.
Doing just like he was in that corner by the Victorian. By Gus and Loretta's corner, and Jason's trying to creep up on him, and I said, "Don't wait,
my jacket.
Just go, just get him."
I got my jacket, and I don't.
Your thumbs up and again.
So I was like, "It's all or nothing. It's all or nothing." So I take off running. As soon as he flies up, I throw my jacket, and it's just like something out of a movie.
It was, and so was the jacket being thrown up.
It was. I almost got him then too, but it was almost something out of a movie that you would have saw Jackie Chan do or Chuck Norris or somebody like that, y'all. It just worked out. That's what I get for watching these movies with Mary Carl. I learned.
Hey, I ain't never complained, and I never will.
Y'all, it was like slow motion to me. It was like, and I throw the jacket, and he goes up, and the jacket lands on top of him, and I jump a half a second behind I throw the jacket. So I throw the jacket, and then I'm jumping. So as soon as the jacket goes, I'm in mid-flight. Jacket falls on him, and then I fall on him just like this.
And he stands up, and he doesn't say a word. He just starts walking. And I said, "Do you have him?" And he said, "Yeah, I got him." And I said, "Are you sure you got him?" He said, "I'm sure I got him."
Yeah, I got him. I got him, and it was just, I mean, it landed on him. I was holding him like you were supposed to hold him. His wings was all tucked under and everything.
Y'all, I'm telling y'all, I haven't had a heartbeat like that, and a feeling of just deep down disgust with myself. I don't know what I was thinking.
And I'm going to tell you what else was running through my mind, too. Is that this happened today now?
Today.
This happened today.
This morning.
This polar vortex, whatever they call this thing, it happened today. I'm thinking, we're going to fall. There's no way we're going to catch this bird because it is like ice skating out there.
And here's the thing is, if they have to have heat. You know, they're tropical birds. They have to be in a warm environment. So I'm thinking to myself, this is going to be an all-day event trying to catch this bird. And he's already on death's door because the temperatures are so low.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, y'all, I'm telling you, I'm not ever going back in that room where they are. I'm not saying I'm not going back in the aviary. I'll go back in there.
Right.
But I am not going back in that room. Never. Never. And I wasn't asked to do it today. I thought I was doing a good thing. I thought I was doing Mary Carl a favor by filling up the water and not asking her to go do it because she had already been outside. And, I thought I'd just do it myself. I ain't doing it. Not again. You will not find me in there.
I can't believe we caught him.
I can't either.
I've caught 2 of them. Well, the first time I didn't have a jacket. I just jumped on it.
Yeah.
A long time ago. We've told that story before. But this one, the jacket, I think the jacket worked.
I think it did too, because, we were thinking, we don't have a net. We don't have a net. Jason was like, we need to have a net.
I did.
And I'm thinking to myself, well, I don't know where the net is.
I don't know idea.
I don't know where it is.
No idea.
And yeah, y'all, it's easy to say put the net in the same spot. That's kind of like putting the snake catcher in the same spot.
I don't know where it is.
You just, things happen.
I mean, we can't even keep up with a pair of socks. I mean, let alone a net.
Jason had to find me a pair of socks this morning. I gave up. I dumped all the clean clothes out onto the bed and started looking through the socks. Came back in the kitchen. He said, I found you a pair of socks. I mean, how does that happen? We're just not organized people.
We're not.
And 3 of them at that.
Yeah.
That doesn't make for...
We're not.
But I was walking tall when you caught that Victorian crown. It was just like, that was the way it was supposed to be. Like the event never happened. But when it did happen, I'm here to tell y'all, my hands were shaking. It was like I had water on my fingers because my passcode would not go in. Of course, I had all that get up on my face so it wouldn't recognize the face identification.
That's right.
And then
that's so funny.
I told him, I said, I think she's in here.
Oh,
in the safe room. I think she's in here.
I didn't think she was. I thought she was gone.
But the door to their area was shut. And I said, well, maybe she went in there and the door just shut behind her. So I take the role of opening the door so he can get in with the mail. Well, he gets in with the mail. Lo and behold, the female just starts flying everywhere. And I thought that they were both going to get out at that point.
Luckily, the door was locked.
I locked it behind me.
The door's locked. Everything's fine.
The door's locked. And y'all, I just wasn't thinking.
Yeah.
I just came in there on a mission to get them their food and water. And I did not lock the door. It was shut.
Right.
And it was pushed shut to where you have to really push to get it open. But those birds are strong. They're big and they're strong.
Yep.
And I'm not going back in there ever again. I'm telling you, I'm not. It scared me bad. And that's not the first time I've done that. So off limits.
Off limits.
Off limits. And y'all might think they can't fly. They can fly.
They can fly.
They could have been at Catherine's house in a matter of seconds.
They can fly. I mean, they can go. Real go.
He is much tamer than her. She's a lot wilder than he is. And I think that was a lifesaver for us today.
And another life, they can fly. I mean, they can go.
They can fly.
But they're not flighty.
Yeah, they're not going to fly for a long distance.
Yeah, they're not they would rather try to run away from you first And then I think they kind of get a running start, and then they'll fly.
Ugh.
And they can fly, long ways
Ugh.
away.
I just can't believe it was that easy. I mean, literally,
goodness.
it took Jason walking outside,
Yep.
catching the bird, and putting him up and walking back inside. It was just like that. And I thought when it happened, this is bad. This is really, really, really bad.
Yeah, I was not thinking when he
didn't even have time to say, Brooke, what were you thinking?
When he flew, when we missed him the first time and he flew, I knew then that
it was a chase.
I thought, ew, he's gone. He's gone.
He's not gone. He's in his safe room, which I will never go again. I'm just glad you were able to. I'm just glad you were here. I mean, what if you hadn't been here? I never could have called him.
Yeah, because you and Mary Carl wouldn't have pulled the jacket move off.
No, we don't watch those kung fu movies. Well, she does.
You would have to pull the jacket move off.
Well, I don't know that I could have took my jacket off. I was kind of frozen.
Not only did the jacket just fall on him just perfectly, if I wouldn't have had the jacket and I had caught him, his wing would have been all up here.
Oh, yeah.
And he'd have been hitting me in the face and all this.
And when you were walking with him, he was just perfectly fine.
He was calm.
He wasn't fighting. Yeah. He wasn't doing anything. Nothing. It was just like, oh, we're carrying a Victorian ground pigeon around.
Yeah. Just chill.
Just chill.
With them bright red eyes. Just chill.
You know what?
What?
Tomorrow, when you or Mary Carl go to give them their water, we should give them some well water. That'll make them all better.
You reckon?
No, it might give them flight powers.
That's what I was thinking, the same thing.
It's a good thing that I came inside and used that faucet, isn't it?
That is a good thing to use that faucet. Oh, goodness.
I thought I was doing a good thing, y'all. I really did. And I thought wrong.
Well, I'm glad he's caught. And talking about the weather, tonight's going to be our coldest night.
Yeah, 11 degrees.
But tomorrow's going to get on up.
Yeah, like
to 38.
I think.
Yeah. So tonight's going to be, but tomorrow's going to, and y'all listen to this. Listen now. So it was 62 degrees yesterday.
Yeah.
62. Now it's 28 was the high today.
Mm-hmm.
Wind chill was 11 or something crazy, 14, 13. Anyways, tonight's going to be 11. I don't know what the wind chill is going to be.
I don't want to know.
And tomorrow's going to get 38. And then Friday, it's going to go back down to 18.
Or 14, I think.
Something like that. Then come on back up. And then 2 days after that, 72 degrees.
And y'all guess what?
72 degrees. That's like a 60-degree swing.
I have big plans for next week. If I'm still feeling like I am, we're pulling fence.
Oh, good.
We're pulling fence. As a matter of fact, when I woke up this morning, I thought, frozen or not frozen, we're pulling fence. And then I went outside and I said, we're not pulling that fence today.
Well, I tell you what I did, and I do this every time. So I'll go up and I'll go take a shower, and then I'll put my clothes on, but I don't put my I won't put my jacket or anything on, and I'll let Holly out, and I usually go walk to the pond, whatever. And I guess it's the heat from the shower still kind of trapped in or something, because I'm like, it's not that bad out here. It's not that bad out here at all. And then I'll come back inside, I'll fix coffee, and
that second time out will get you on it.
Well, I guess the heat's done kind of oozed off. And then I go back outside with my jacket on, and I'm like, it's cold. I come back out to put a scarf on. I put my gloves on. It's crazy, but it must have something to do with the heat from the shower. Got to.
It must, but I can get my cleaning on in the evening.
Yeah. Jason
has recently swapped from evening to morning. I think it's because the bathroom's occupied at night. But regardless, I know it's cold.
You know it's cold?
I know it's cold because I don't take my shower in the morning. So there's nothing hindering me from knowing that.
You don't have that
sauna feel.
Whatever it is, because it feels perfectly normal out there when I get up in the mornings going out there. And it's every morning. I mean, I'm like, it's not that bad. I looked at the thing. It's like, this is 14 degrees.
I got this.
We got this.
Were you thinking about pulling fence this morning?
That didn't cross my mind.
Okay.
It didn't cross my mind.
Well, I did run my tractor and it ran just fine. So we should be okay.
I did get on the side-by-side today, but I had to go get, first of all, I had to hit the seat, knock all the ice off. Then I had to go get a towel and wipe it down. But it cranked up, though. It cranked up and did okay. Icicles hanging down off the side.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that from the window this morning. First thing. I wish it would make me feel a lot better if Goldie and Nugget would go up, but that's not going to happen. And so what are you to do? You know, all you can do is the best you can do. They're going to be fine in the cold. It's just, I don't want them out there.
Right.
But, you know, I can't very well bring Moody in the house.
Nope.
And so you just do the best you can.
Right.
I mean, they've been through weather like this before.
Yep.
And they've survived. Maybe not the most comfortable, but hey, if they won't go in, I can't whisper in their ear and tell them it's warmer. It's warmer in there, I promise you.
Right.
So there won't be a live on Saturday unless you want to do it by yourself.
I might do it by myself.
Well, so I won't say there won't be one. You can do it from the barn.
I can do it from the barn.
Saturday, though, it's going to be really cold.
Mm-hmm.
I am still planning to go to Kentucky, Louisville, and I've been looking at the weather, and it looks like things are going to be okay. Good. Did see that it was like I've been checking the weather in Louisville, and it says that you can get frostbite from just being outside for a little bit because it's like 4 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
So I told Mary Carl, I said, I want you to take one of those face things.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And she said, Mom, I'm not going to be outside. And I said, well, baby, you have to get from the car to the center.
Yep.
And she said, I'll be fine. And I said, okay, you're going to say that when we're peeling your nose off from frostbite. But all she's got to do is wear one of those face masks. And who knows? If she wore one of those, I could video her.
Just get her a scarf. Just get her a scarf.
Okay.
And she can put that
around her face.
And then she can push it down.
Yeah,
if she don't
good
want
idea.
Just a scarf. That's all you got to do.
Good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I did get all the clothes washed between yesterday and today. And, well, after you found my socks this morning and clothes were already laying out on the bed, I figured I'd hang them all up. So we're back to square one with our clothes. Now, how long is it going to take for us to get back to where
I don't know. You keep drinking that well water. It might be, you know.
I feel like hanging them up, don't I?
I won't say something, though, this morning. So I got up early this morning, and I went out there with my heat shield on from the shower. Checked on the I always like to go to the pond, see what it looks like. The pond had no ice on it.
No, that's because those silly geese were out there swimming in it.
Geese, full-fledged in the pond this morning. It was, gosh, I don't know what it was. It was cold, and it didn't bother those guys at all.
I know what it was. Your thoughts of the polar plunge went away instantly when you saw the geese out there swimming and knew that they had broke up that ice.
It was broken up. I mean, it's just.
But the front yard was solid ice.
It wasn't first thing this morning, but it did. I don't know how that was. I don't know how.
Probably the dogs have been playing.
It's amazing at the little microclimates you have around your property that you don't know about.
Yeah, it seems like no matter what the weather says it's going to be right here in our part of the country, we're always like 4 degrees colder.
Yeah, we usually are. But you can go to different spots, and I could tell where
it's warmer or it's colder.
Colder. Like, for instance, Cheese's swimming pool was not frozen.
What?
Mm-mm.
Huh. Well, that's a good thing.
Yep.
He probably been in it.
He probably had.
He probably been in it.
He probably had.
I don't know.
And so I gathered eggs this morning. And you know that one chicken's been going behind the door after we put that straw in there? Well, she had 5 eggs in there.
Oh, gracious.
All 5 of them.
It went a thumbs up again.
All 5 of them had cracked because they were frozen. But do you know the eggs in the thing
were not frozen?
Were not frozen.
I guess it's because air could get to them.
I don't know. I thought that was strange.
How many did we have?
12.
12 eggs.
And all that freezing weather, we had 12 eggs.
It's, You know, my friend Laura at Simply Making It recently reached out to me and asked me, did I have any tricks? Did my hens slow down laying this time of the year? And I said, Laura, I know that some of her hens are older. And I said, I think that the reason we're getting so many eggs is because our chickens are all young.
I think there's another thing too. So at our old property, at the old farm, it was all shade.
Yeah.
So the key thing for chickens
and
is
Laura's
sunlight.
coop is kind of in the shaded area too.
Where our chickens are now is out in that field, and they got the shade under the thing, and we put the shade cloth up, but they're in full sun.
Yeah, they are in full sun.
And I think that them being in the full sun is what's contributed to them not slowing down on their egg production.
Maybe so. I don't know what it is, but
I really do, because at our other farm, they stopped.
They would stop, and it would be just like what Laura's talking about.
Exactly.
She was wanting to know any trick. Hey, if y'all follow Laura on her Simply Making It Facebook page, she had a baby goat born.
She did
2 days ago.
She did
right before this cold weather hit, and it is the cutest little girl. She's the first one born of this year. So y'all go check out Laura's baby. That'll be the future of her business.
That's right.
She's got a new one that she's going to be able to milk one day and have babies of her own. So that means milk production's about to start for her.
Oh, it is.
She gives them a break.
That's right.
And she doesn't milk for several months to try to give them a break. And plus, they're going to have babies.
So you know what that means?
More soap.
Not only that, though, that maybe you can get some training in.
Yeah, I'm going to have... Hey, my hands don't even hurt. I wonder what that does when you do that over and over on the...
I was worried about that.
I don't want to know what that's going to show up.
Yeah.
But Laura and I do have plans to get together when she's back in milk. So you guys can see her setup, because it's been a long time since I've been over there. And, well, not a long time since I've been to her house, but since I've milked a goat.
Right.
So I need a refresher. My girls are going to be there one day. And I can't wait to drink the delicious goat milk with all those probiotics and good stuff that's not being taken out by pasteurization.
And I'm 99.9% confident that the two Nubians are bred.
Yeah, I think so too.
But I'm still pretty sure that old Topper is not fertile.
I don't like to hear you say that, because I don't want to think about it.
Because Bo, I'm almost positive Bo Peep was in heat yesterday and day before yesterday.
But what about Bootsy?
I told you the other day I saw Bootsy. Well, this was a couple of weeks ago.
But it wasn't for a week. It was just a day.
It was for a little bit. She was staring at the fence at Joe. And she was doing her little thing.
I don't know.
And swishing her tail. So...
The reason I wanted Bootsy or Bo Peep to have babies was for Piper. Piper and Tristan, who are Mary Carl's good friends.
Mm-hmm.
Her mom, Katie, has said that they could have some goats, and that's on their wish list. And I thought Nigerian dwarfs would be awesome for them to start out with.
Mm-hmm.
Such fun little goats. If you're starting out with a big dairy breed, it's kind of hard. So I thought a Nigerian would be the way for them to go. And,
yeah, you're probably right.
And I was hoping to fix them up with some babies.
Mm-hmm.
But, if it doesn't happen, I may just have to borrow Hut. Catherine knows who I'm talking about.
That name kills me.
Hut.
Hut.
Yeah.
And then, so today you got me started on Dr. Paul's farm thing.
Oh, the incredible Paul Farm.
And we love Dr. Paul. And you their goat's named No.
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 And ever since I've started watching this new series that features No a lot, it's if y'all like Dr. Pol,
yep.
Then there's a new show out, and it's the incredible Pol Farm.
Yep.
It's a good series.
It is.
It's them starting a farm from scratch. But that goat, No, he's a single goat, or she is a single goat that's never been with other animals. So their family is No-No's herd.
Yep.
And it is comical.
It is. No-No goes everywhere. It's a good show. It's more Dr. Paul's on there, but it's mostly his son and his son's family.
Charles and Ben.
And it's funny, and it's wholesome, y'all. Your 3-year-old can watch it, and if you're 99 years old, you can watch it. It's just one of those shows.
If you like farm and animals and things like that, it's a good one.
It is.
It's a good one.
It
and
is.
They're starting a I can't remember how many acres it is. Starting a farm from scratch. There's nothing. And so I've watched all the episodes up until last night where it stopped. And I clicked on it today and there's new episodes. Yeah, so I turned it on and Jason was in the bedroom and I ended up falling asleep with it on. But you got to see a little bit of it.
I did. I watched 2 of them. And it's on Hulu. I saw somebody asking what channel.
It's National Geographic, but Hulu is also shown on National Geographic. Mm-hmm. So the Incredible Paul Farm.
Is Dr. Paul on National Geographic as well?
Yes.
Okay, so both of them are on there.
Yes.
Yeah, he's awesome. And I tell you, we've learned a lot from watching Dr. Paul.
There's times when things have happened on our farm and I can relate back to what Dr. Brenda or Dr. Paul or, Dr. Emily, some of those doctors did. And it rings a bell for me.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm in the right field.
Yep.
Because if you watch that kind of thing in your spare time, then you're doing the right thing.
Right. Exactly. It is a good show. It is a good show.
It's really very entertaining.
I hope we get to meet him one day.
Oh, I've seen some people comment on there. Dr. Paul is my vet.
Really?
Because he's in Michigan.
He's a normal vet.
Yeah.
Y'all, I'm talking like...
He's brilliant. He
looks like a vet that would be here, like in rural Alabama. Not like a big city vet, like just a rural vet.
Yeah.
We know it, the hometown vet.
That's right.
They're the best.
He's just a normal person from what I can see, and y'all tell us that we're that way too. So to be able to meet Dr. Paul would be on my bucket list.
Would be. I like to meet Dr. Paul.
Yeah, he's a good man. You can just tell. You just get that vibe from somebody.
Absolutely.
So I don't know if you'll be here Saturday or not, but
hopefully I'll be here.
Well, I don't mean if you'll be here. I shouldn't have said it like that. I'm liable to go live without Mary Carl knowing, because when I see this snow that I think I'm going to see for the first time in my entire life, I've never been anywhere where it snows.
Country done come to town.
I have never. I thought to myself, she told me I can't video it, but we're going to have to talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm talking low because I don't want her to hear me.
Video the pigeons.
Yeah. I got to show it.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be so excited to see that happening for the first time in my life. And you've never seen it either.
Nothing like that.
So just pack up and come with us.
Nothing like that.
Nick's got the flu. I don't think it'd be a good time to leave. And y'all please be thinking about Nick and Rhett and hope the rest of their family doesn't get it. He says he's okay, but still, that flu can be rough on you.
It's tough. I try to stay away from that flu business.
I know, really.
Usually puts me in the hospital.
And heavens to Betsy, if Jason were to get it while I'm gone, my mama's going to have herself a full-time job waiting on Jason.
Somebody said Dr. Paul's on Disney Plus, too.
It is.
I think Hulu and all of them are connected.
They're tied together. So I don't know what kind of channels y'all have, but it's on different channels.
Just search it.
Just search it.
Somebody said they even watch it on YouTube.
Yeah. But the new series, it's really good. I've enjoyed it. They put up a fence in a different way than I've ever known about.
This was crazy now. You told me about this. I haven't watched that one yet.
They set up 2 wooden poles, and let's just say it was 300-foot pull.
This is crazy.
They pulled the fence with no tension on it. They just tightened it, and they stapled it on.
Mm-hmm.
And so Charles is like, well, Dad's going to come around at 12, and I guess that was his lunch hour.
Yeah.
And he said, Dad, is this okay for the sheep fence? The fence was doing like this. No, the sheep will go right under that. And I'm thinking to myself, what in the world kind of fence is this? There was no post in between it.
No T-post.
So he said, well, how do we fix it? Because the daddy, Dr. Paul, is like the mentor. Charles is just getting started with this farm thing. He says, well, you go get some T-post. Okay. How do you set T-post after the fence has been pulled?
I don't know. You was telling me about it, and I was like, I don't see how, because you start going down with it, you're just gonna hit that fence and knock you off this kind of way. And
so they've set the fence, set the post, and pushed it back, and that fence looked like a curve.
Looked like Lester built it.
Well, we're not talking about Lester, but it was unlike anything I'd ever seen before.
Yeah.
What are y'all having for dinner tonight?
What are we having?
We are going to have, and I'll have it already ready except for to cook it. We're having chicken thighs, and I have put lemon juice on them, and I have put all these different herbs on them.
Sounds
and
good.
I'm going to air fry them. Then we're going to have black-eyed peas and some pasta salad and some mashed potatoes, homemade mashed potatoes.
I could eat. I'm a potato connoisseur.
You and your daughter.
Mashed potatoes, new potatoes, red potatoes,
scallop potatoes.
I can eat them. French fries, baked potatoes.
Oh, he's a potato connoisseur.
I love potatoes.
Well, I'm glad I had this planned out earlier, because now all I have to do is cook my chicken. My peas are ready, my salad's ready, my potatoes are ready. So cook the chicken for 25 minutes in that air fryer, and we got a good meal.
And we've been, did somebody say dill pickle soup? Dill pickle soup.
That would be
right. It went by so fast I couldn't finish reading it. They had something else to go along with it. But we've been enjoying the salad though.
Oh yeah.
The salad has been awesome.
So y'all, Jason's garden was planted, as you guys know, and the greens that he planted, the salad mix has been phenomenal. We picked enough yesterday to last us the next few days, and we've ate it every day for lunch.
Yep.
So we pick the greens, we get them washed, we get them stored in the refrigerator, and voila, lunch is instantly made.
It is good.
It is good. And I don't want it to come to an end, so I hope that those frost covers from Hoss Tools are doing their job.
I took a peek under it, and it looked okay, but tonight's going to be the kicker. Be the one. Believe it or not, the rain helps.
Well, we're not going to have that tonight, though.
Well, it's still there. The ground's still wet, and the frost covers are iced over, so all that is the insulation barrier there. So it does help. Well,
I tell you, it's going to be wonderful if we're able to spare the garden this year, because last year it was so detrimental, and we lost everything.
Everything but collard greens.
And we've enjoyed
and onions. We didn't lose onions last year. Or garlic. But the onions are so small and younger this year versus last year. So
you're worried about them being tender?
Yeah, I am a little worried, but I think the frost covers are going to work.
I hope so, because I've enjoyed having those collards, and we hadn't picked any turnips yet. No, we hadn't picked any collard greens yet. We've picked turnips and we've picked mustards, and I've enjoyed having those. So I don't want it to come to an end.
Yeah, me either. But that green mix from Hoss is really fast. So if it does, we may can replant and get some more. And
you were telling me today that mix does excellent in raised beds.
Raised beds and the green stalk planters.
Wow. It's awesome. Thick, y'all. I mean, all we do is go out there with the scissors, hold it with one hand and cut it. It's just like you're cutting hair and put it in your bucket.
Yep. Mixed green mix. I forget what they call it. It's a mixed green mix, though.
It's really good.
It's good.
It's
really good. I love it.
It's not anything too bitter or too.
No, I'm such a huge arugula fan, and it's got arugula in it, and
but to me, it's not overpowering.
It's not because it's got so many different variations in there.
Yep. Maybe that's why I feel so good.
The
Hoss Super Greens.
Oh,
but y'all, I hope this continues, because I'm telling you, we're gonna have Moody and Mildred are gonna be together at last if it carries on.
Yes.
Right?
That's right. Okay. And hopefully it goes okay.
Well, hopefully.
If not, we'll move her back.
Yeah, well, we're going to give it a try, because, cows are of... I ain't getting into that.
Michael Key is having sloppy joes.
Sloppy Joes.
I have not had a sloppy Joe in a minute, but I love sloppy Joes. Oh, my gosh.
The last time I made sloppy Joes is I used some kind of beans.
Uh-huh.
What was it, Jason?
Was
those
it
little tiny
lentils?
Yeah, I used lentils and made sloppy joes with it, and it was very good.
It was good, but it's still.
It wasn't sloppy Joe good.
It wasn't sloppy, the real sloppy Joe.
It wasn't that good, but it was something that I had at home at the time.
Yep.
And we made it work.
You know what? I wish I would have put a request in, but I know you ain't felt good, but
I feel good now.
Taco soup. That's called like 50 things. Taco soup, friendship soup.
Well, I was trying to figure out something to make you while I'm gone.
Taco soup.
All right. So I'm planning on getting out tomorrow, and I can get I have most everything. I can do a pickup and get the ingredients for that.
Taco soup. I love taco soup.
Y'all don't have to worry about him. He's going to be fed while I'm gone.
Oh, goodness.
All right. Well, we got to go feed the animals and put them up for the night and get everybody to stay warm.
Y'all stay warm.
That's right.
Y'all be good.